This rather frightening animal, with a unique shape of the head and jaw, may well be mistaken for a creature from hell. What you're seeing right now is not a genetic glitch or a mutant. This creature is called the ugliest animal in the world. But in Syria, in their homeland, goats of this breed are considered simply divinely beautiful. This is a rare breed of domestic goat called the Damascus goat, known as Shami. In many countries, they are kept because of their unique, exotic appearance. With bulging foreheads, drooping ears, and protruding bites, they resemble something out of science fiction. These demonic goats, and there's no other way to call them, are most common in Cyprus, Palestine, Israel, and Syria. The breed belongs to the heavy type. The maximum weight that Shami goats can gain becomes 130 kilograms, with a height of 1 meter, and goats weigh up to 90 kilograms with a height of 75 to 85 centimeters at the withers. The most distinctive characteristic of the breed is a head with a very hooked muzzle. Another characteristic feature of pedigreed goats is hanging ears, the length of which can reach 30 centimeters. Many goat owners take the strange appearance of the Damascus goat to a new level by cropping their ears short. That's pretty right, isn't it, girl? They gained worldwide fame in 2008 when one of the goats of this breed won the title of the most beautiful goat in a beauty contest in Saudi Arabia. Now this rare breed has become extremely valuable. According to experts, the cost of one such goat is comparable to the cost of Arabian thoroughbred horses and can reach $67,000. The most shocking thing about this breed is the difference between their appearance when they are small and when they grow up. Shami goats with a small head and incredibly long ears look pretty cute. But then, they gradually begin to turn into a real monster capable of scaring many with their appearance. Would you like to meet such a cute goat? There are goats who love mountains and fresh air. They are very unpretentious and sometimes live in places where other animals simply cannot be found. And life in the mountains is very difficult. Only the smartest, cleverest, and of course, proud survive. The snow goat is a breed of goats living in the mountains. Goats live only in the Rocky Mountains of North America. They live very high. They can climb mountains to a height of about 3,000 meters. They lead a nomadic lifestyle, moving over bare rocks and patches of alpine lawns. Snow goats are real beauties. Their fur is white almost the whole year, and their hooves are black. Snow goats are very large. Their height at the withers is 90 to 105 centimeters. Weight is 85 to 135 kilograms. Because of the lush fur, they look even bigger. The goat's winter fur coat is such that it can withstand frosts up to -50 degrees Celsius. Snow goats have an incredible climbing ability. People for climbing have arms, legs, and a bunch of all sorts of devices, and goats have only legs. But the legs are not ordinary, but the best. Strong, slender, and very bouncy. Despite their impressive physique, they walk on completely steep cliffs with barely noticeable ledges and cornices. It seems completely incomprehensible how such large animals can stay there. They manage to put their hooves on the smallest stones and then climb onto ledges from which it is almost impossible to get off. They move slowly, lazily, and very rarely jump. At the same time, if the snow goat jumps, it is usually down, sometimes 6 to 7 meters, on a barely noticeable, often icy ledge. The hooves of a snow goat are a perfect device for climbing mountains. They are bifurcated and can move apart as needed, providing traction with the surface. They are soft in the center and very hard at the edges. That is why snow goats never slide on rocks, but seem to stick to them and can stay even on tiny ledges and climb steep slopes. These animals have plenty of enemies, but predators are extremely rare on their way. because they do not rise to such a height. But it happens when faced with an enemy. They fight off the enemy with their horns, thereby saving their lives. An angry goat can be a very dangerous component. The most terrible predator for them is a mountain lion that climbs rocks, just like snow goats. However, it must be said that the most dangerous creatures for animals are the human hunter and the human poacher. Do you agree? Share your opinion in the comments. Have you heard of goats fainting? As it turns out, goats are also known for how they faint, and they do this from strong fear or overexertion. In emergency situations, the goat falls into a complete stupor and falls on its back or sideways with its legs outstretched. Fainting goats are a type of ordinary domestic goats with a rare genetic disease, congenital myotonia. In stressful situations, animals develop complete muscular paralysis of the legs. Since it is impossible to stand in this state, they fall on their side or on their back. At the same time, the goats are fully conscious. As a rule, the condition is observed for a short time. When this happens, the goats usually freeze for about 10 seconds, but then get up and run about their business again. Isn't it interesting and funny to watch them run around and then suddenly faint? These pretty cute goats with big bulging eyes and a Roman profile are very popular. More and more often, they are brought up as a pet, especially small specimens, as they are smart, friendly, and funny. Currently, fainting goats in the United States are recognized as a rare breed of domestic animals and are under protection. A special kind of mountain goat lives in the Alpine Mountains, which are called ibex or ibex. Alpine ibex is an unsurpassed rock climber and mountaineer. And if it is clear why goats climb mountain slopes, then why do they stubbornly climb the slopes of dams? It's amazing to see goats not in the mountains, but on a dam. Impressive, right? Then let's put some likes. So why would mountain goats climb steep man-made walls? And then what they desperately lack in the mountains? And they don't have enough salt. And for the goats' sake, they are ready to walk many kilometers or climb unimaginable steps. The goats climb up on their hooves, as if they are rubber, and literally stick to an almost vertical wall. And they do all this solely in order to lick some salt. And they can also arrange a fight on a sheer wall, fighting for the saltiest place. It is very surprising to see goats moving around where they seemed to be nothing to cling to. And all this is thanks to tenacious hooves, a very good sense of balance, and a vestibular apparatus. That's what they are, salt goats. Would you like to have such a goat as a pet? It is known that goats are unsurpassed climbers, and goats can jump higher than their height from a place. Try again. What, it's not working? Yes, it is very difficult, and climbing a tree for goats is not difficult at all. Moroccan goats are the most bouncy on the planet, and they graze not on the ground, but on trees. This happens not from a desire to show off, but because of the acute shortage of grass in those places. Goats, like movie stuntmen, stand on incredibly shaky branches and reach for their delicacy, the fleshy and juicy fruits of argan. Maybe it's a specially bred breed that can climb argan, you ask? No, Moroccan goats are, in fact, the most ordinary. This is not some kind of unique species endowed with acrobatic abilities. It's just that goats, forced to adapt to the harsh local realities, have found a new food base. By the way, the height of argan reaches 8 to 10 meters. So, Moroccan goats can be safely recorded in the most real climbers. There are amazing goats of the Welsh breed. Their front half of the body is black, and the back half is white. Welsh goats come from Switzerland and are considered one of the oldest breeds in Europe. Her origin is African. They immigrated from Africa to Switzerland to a place called Valais in the mountains, and so far they live only in the upper Val. Both goats and goats have horns. The horns are very powerful and long, on average in goats 30 to 50 centimeters, in goats 80 centimeters. It was a Welsh goat named Harlequin with the length of 1 meter 24 centimeters horns that got into the Guinness Book of World Records in 1991. They are unique not only in color, but also in a very thick coat. After all, it is primarily a rock where wind, snow, and rain are at a frequent occurrence. The coat is very coarse, thick, and everywhere except for the muzzle and legs, long, up to 40 to 50 centimeters. There is a distinctive feature in the forehead, which is a thick bang. They are not cut, but they are scratched 2 times a year. They are still kept in some zoos as exotic animals. Screw-horned goats, Markhors, live high in the mountains. Of all mountain goats, they are the largest and the most powerful, with a body length of up to 1.7 meters, shoulder height of 90 centimeters, and a weight of up to 90 kilograms. The name of this species comes from the shape of the horns, twisting like a corkscrew or screw. Look at the magnificent horns on this goat right here. They reach a length of 1.5 meters. True, only males have luxurious horns. Females cannot boast of such a length and are content with 20 to 30 centimeter horns. The horns of a screw-horned goat are twisted in opposite directions. The number of revolutions reaches 2 to 3, rarely 4 revolutions. Mountain goats don't shed their horns, they wear them all their lives. And in order to maintain their ventrigost, the Markhors need to marry only their own kind. The habitat of this animal is steep slopes of gorges, rocks, and cliffs at an altitude of 500 to 3,500 meters in the mountains of northwestern India, eastern Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Screw-horned goats spend their whole lives among rocky cliffs and deep gorges. The mountains give them both food and shelter from enemies. The Markhors jump so deftly to the steepest slopes that any climber would envy them for sure. Moving away from danger, they can go down into the gorge, jumping along the steep walls from one side to the other, while relying only on the smallest ledges. Their legs are strong and their hooves are designed so that they do not slip on stones, so predators who decide to hunt Markhors will have to look for other prey. Screw-horned goats are peaceful animals, but in the spring, when the males arrange tournaments, there is no trace of this calmness. Seeing each other, the rivals immediately try to prove their superiority by butting and pushing. They collide with strong foreheads with such force that the sound of the impact can't be heard for over a kilometer. There is an opinion that screw-horned goats became the ancestors of domestic goats. The leopard is one of the coolest predators on the planet, but sometimes it overestimates its strength and makes a wrong choice of opponent. That's when the spotted cat has to run to ensure its beautiful fur stays intact. Now we'll show you who can teach a lesson to a leopard it won't forget at all. Leopards are among the few animals that can stand up to a honey badger. Faced with their incredible rage, the spotted cat relies on its agility and sometimes wins in a duel. But this particular spotted cat clearly overestimated its abilities when it decided to attack an entire family of honey badgers. The angered honey badger showed the leopard that it is better not to mess with it at all. It chased away the enemy with such ease as if it were not the panther, but an ordinary house cat. This lesson will stay with the leopard for a long time. This leopard tried to sneak up on a buffalo family to snatch a calf. The cat had decent chances, but something went wrong. The female noticed him. Buffaloes are not herbivores, easily frightened. They see danger, they attack its source. Powerful muscles and a weight of over half a ton give them the courage. The leopard didn't expect this turn of events. It got confused and ended up too close to the enraged mother. She chased him, and he was driven into the thickets. Another second and he would have been trampled. Surprisingly, the appearance of a lion saved the leopard. The female didn't risk her calf alone with this heavyweight predator, so she returned to her club, leaving the leopard alone. The spotted predator was lucky that the stronger animals got distracted by each other, but messing with buffaloes was clearly a mistake. However, the appearance of a competitor and an enemy saved him. Such luck deserves your like, don't you agree? Baboons are quite dangerous animals, although few consider them as such due to their relatively small size. This leopard also made the mistake of underestimating them while resting in a tree when an entire group of baboons arrived. Each primate has sharp and surprisingly long fangs. Besides, they also have nimble paws, but their main advantage is their number. They didn't want a leopard in their territory, and the fact that he got here first really didn't bother them at all. The leopard is shocked by such audacity. It tries to resist, but the baboons crowd him with their quantity and persistence. The leopard climbs higher and higher, therefore trapping itself, as baboons are adept tree climbers as well. In the end, a baboon had to jump from a great height to escape from the enraged primates. Fortunately, it didn't break anything, but the cat took a considerable risk. Even with its agility and powerful limbs, jumping from the height of a third floor is a pretty bad idea. But for the leopard, it was the only option. This is the only case. Here, baboons drove the leopard into the thinnest branches of the canopy, after which it was literally knocked out of the tree. It clung to the branch, tried to fend them off, but ended up falling and then having to run away. Can the leopard not stand up to these cheeky monkeys? It can. Here it dealt with one of them. And then what? Unlike many other animal species, these baboons are bold creatures. The loss of a comrade didn't impress them, and they continued to press the enemy. The leopard couldn't even drag its rightful prey away. Credit must be given to this brave cat. Trying to steal prey from a crocodile requires nerves of steel. The leopard noticed that the reptile wasn't attempting to feast and was swimming around the antelope it had just caught. But this was not an invitation to lunch. It was a trap. As soon as the leopard approached close enough, the crocodile immediately lunged at it. The cat's luck was that the bank was too steep and the crocodile couldn't leap from the water to a sufficient height for it to catch the leopard. Otherwise, that reptile would have had a diverse meal. The leopard even attempts to repeat the attack, but it ends up the same way, with the crocodile's lightning-fast lunge now even closer with its jaws open. Pushing further would have been foolish, and the leopard retreats. The leopard is a powerful predator, but only the fourth largest big cat after the tiger, the lion, and the jaguar. Moreover, it's not the top predator in its habitat. It has a few competitors that can pose a threat, primarily lions and hyenas. Both of these species are pack animals, while leopards prefer solitude. It's easy and comfortable, yet you are surrounded by a whole pack of rivals. Additionally, even one-on-one, a large hyena can overcome a leopard due to the monstrous strength of its claws. Also, for an experienced battle, forged heavyweight male lion, leopard becomes a punching bag just for him. This spotted predator underestimated the agility of the lion and thought that with its own agility, it could approach the opponent too closely. A big mistake. The lion is much faster than it seems. It chased the leopard, and the spotted cat was saved only by the nearby tree. The leopard literally leaped onto its top. That's what saved it. At the very last moment. The heavy lion couldn't climb so high. For leopards, this is a pretty typical defensive strategy. If there are trees nearby, then they use them as a favorite refuge. Among all predators capable of climbing the highest and thinnest branches of tree canopies, leopards are the strongest and the largest. Therefore, they are not afraid of other cats that can climb there at all. On the other hand, most of the leopard's enemies cannot climb trees as skillfully. This saves the spotted beauties. The problem is that this beloved tactic doesn't always work flawlessly. This lioness turned out to be much more agile than most of her kin. Then she noticed that the leopard had set up a shelter on the treetop and even stored supplies there. The lioness found it interesting, and she climbed straight up there. She's lighter than a lion and managed to reach a height of about the second or third floor. However, the lioness is heavier, more massive, and stronger than a leopard. Moreover, she's determined enough to engage in a fight right at this enormous height. Although the leaves conceal the animals, and witnessing the exchange of blows is impossible, it's easy to imagine the predator's fury. After all, the entire massive tree trembled from their showdown. The outcome is quite predictable. The branches simply couldn't withstand the furious clash of two large predators. Both cats fell down. Fortunately, both the lioness and the leopard managed to avoid serious injuries. After all, they are cats and land on their feet. The leopard took advantage of the fact that the branch broke and hindered the lioness from reaching him with her claws. So, the leopard managed to escape. However, it lost the prey. You know how it goes, right? Everything is going well, your efforts are paying off, and the long and hard work seems to be heading towards the long-awaited reward. And suddenly, some jerk appears and ruins everything. That's what this leopard experienced just now. It managed to sneak up unnoticed to a large wild boar. A lightning-fast leap, and the leopard is already on the prey's back. The boar desperately resists, trying to reach the leopard with its sharp, curved tusks. It struggles, twists, and vigorously throws the leopard off its back, but the panther's grip is incredibly strong. After an impressive struggle, the leopard managed to bring down the boar. The predator reached the prey's throat and began to strangle it. But the boar's squealing attracted the attention of a hyena. This large, audacious creature came to snatch the leopard's prey. It barged into this party and snapped its jaws right next to the panther's face. The leopard released the prey, but the hyena came a little bit too early. The boar is alive and determined to bash any carnivore who thought he looked like lunch. As a result, the hyena ruined the leopard's hunt and had nothing left for itself. It must be acknowledged that the boar acts cool. It hits the leopard from below with such force that the panther literally flies over it. However, perhaps the leopard leaped to such a height to avoid a too close encounter with the boar's tusks. In any case, so much effort was spent in vain. The spotted one ended up without lunch. If you think this leopard has had bad luck, take a look at our next hero. He encountered an even bigger problem. The leopard caught a boar, everything was going well. The prey was clearly weakening a little bit more, and the panther would be ready for lunch. But those squeals, do they irritate you too? One can only guess how much the leopard hates the sound made by boars. Because this time, those who the spotted predator would least like to see appeared. Lions. 2 adult and mighty male lions came to see who was making such a fuss. And when they saw that it was a leopard pinning a boar to the ground, it was a gift from fate for them. One powerful blow to the head, and the leopard had nothing left but to save its life. There was no chance for the boar to escape from the lions. If the leopard had hesitated even for a second, then it would have shared the fate of the pig. Fortunately, it managed to avoid this fate. In slow-motion footage, it can be seen that the situation is much more complicated than it seems at first glance. The leopard even managed to strike back, just to show the lion that it wouldn't be an easy prey for it. And then the spotted cat evaded the lion's capture and leaped away. It was fortunate. If it had tried to dodge and go around the lion from the other side, then it would have fallen right into the paws of its brother. Fortunately, the spotted cat avoided this thanks to its super speed, incredible reflexes, and honestly, a bit of luck. Usually, antelopes save themselves from predators by fleeing. They often panic, easily frightened away. The leopard took advantage of this and attacked the antelope while its kin panicked and retreated. The leopard acted masterfully. It skillfully jumped onto the prey, managed to stop the animal weighing twice as much as itself, reached the throat, and almost broke the trachea. But when the antelope that had run away decided to demonstrate heroism, it turned around and accurately struck the leopard with its horns right in the chest. The predator did not expect this. The blow was so powerful that the panther literally flew off. This saved the caught antelope, and both hoofed animals managed to escape.